We will not let this attempt to assert control over our constitutional rights go unchecked.
Washington State is taking the Trump administration to court again, this time over the state's vote-by-mail system.
Our week ended warm and sunny. Our weekend looks to be the same, but that's not the only thing I'm tracking in your full forecast.
Plus, a former U.S. district attorney is joining the Moscow murders case. What this means with a looming trial this summer. Well, good evening and thanks for joining us for KREM 2 News. I'm Amanda Rowley. New tonight, Spokane police are asking for your help finding a missing endangered adult. Spokane police say Deborah was last seen around 8:30 this morning on the 6100 block of North Lidgerwood. Police say Deborah is 67 years old, 5 feet tall, 130 pounds with blue eyes. Now, police say she may be dealing with cognitive decline. She was last seen wearing a sweatsuit and long gray coat. If you have any information, you're asked to call Crime Check. That number right there is at the bottom of your screen. And a new legal showdown over election control. Washington joined more than a dozen states in a new lawsuit against the Trump administration. The suit alleges the president's latest executive order is an overreach that threatens voter access and states' rights. In a press conference from Seattle, State Attorney General Nick Brown called the order illegal, claiming the federal government does not have the authority to dictate how states or anyone else conducts elections. King 5's Sebastian Robertson has more tonight.
Washington State is petitioning the courts to keep the federal government out of how state elections are run.
And the order makes it harder to vote, erodes public confidence in our elections, and makes it more expensive for states to administer our systems.
Attorney General Nick Brown, flanked by the Secretary of State, called Trump's executive order signed last month at best unnecessary.
We will not let this attempt to assert control over our constitutional rights go unchecked.
Among a list of changes, the executive order requires ballots to be received by Election Day. Washington State has long championed vote by mail, and according to the Secretary of State, hundreds of thousands of votes are received after Election Day. Those votes are counted as long as the ballots are postmarked by Election Day.
Additionally, requiring documentary proof of citizenship to register to vote would harm many eligible voters, especially seniors, low-income people, and naturalized citizens.
The state GOP calls the lawsuit a baseless challenge.
Any reasonable person would like there to be election security, starting with voters providing voter ID. You got to show you're a citizen and legal to vote in order to vote. They are defending not doing that. So they have to inject a whole bunch of legal mumbo jumbo into it to try to make it sound like it's a constitutional issue or a statutory issue.
This time, the state will not pursue a temporary restraining order. Hopeful the issue will be resolved in the courts before Election Day.
Now, Washington State is also involved in two other lawsuits filed against the Trump administration today. One challenges the administration's efforts to cancel grants from the National Institutes of Health. Another seeks to stop the administration from dismantling 3 federal agencies that provide funding and support for libraries, workers involved in labor disputes, and minority-owned businesses. Meantime, markets plummeted for the second straight day across major indexes. Just today, J.P. Morgan analysts raised the recession risk to 60% this year following President Trump's tariff announcement. The Dow went down by 2,200 points, its biggest decline since June of 2020. All of our major Northwest companies closed in the red. Canada announced a 34% tariff on all American goods imported into the country. The move raised concerns that the global trade war could turn into a global recession. Washington Senator Maria Cantwell introduced bipartisan legislation that would put limits on a president's ability to impose tariffs without the approval of Congress. The bill is called the Trade Review Act. It would require the president to notify Congress before enacting tariffs, which would expire within 60 days without congressional approval. Now, new tonight, the 2025 Idaho legislative session wrapped up today. Governor Brad Little thanked the legislature, saying lawmakers approved 95% of his Keeping Promises plan. That plan includes education investments, tax relief, and infrastructure improvements. For a full breakdown of that plan, just head to KREM.com. All right, switching gears now, let's take a first look at the forecast with meteorologist Cody Proctor. Cody, oh, it was gorgeous. The sun returned today, giving us just a little taste of what is going to be a beautiful weekend. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, we are exactly in for a beautiful weekend. We saw that peak today with all that sunshine. It was gorgeous. As we take a look outside, even right now, still the pavilion, it's still gorgeous at this time. Currently, we're at 45 degrees at the Spokane Airport. Winds are calm. Our skies are clear at the moment, and as we head into or take a look at some of our temperatures around the region, we're seeing those cooler temperatures tonight, mostly into 30s for Coeur d'Alene and Sandpoint at the very moment. 40s right now for Spokane, upper 40s for Moses Lake, 50 degrees right now in Wenatchee. As we head into and take a look at our satellite radar map, it has been clear for the last 6 hours. That brought us that sunshine, but now those clear skies means that we're looking at some cooler temperatures as we head into tomorrow morning. Take a look at what we're expecting to start off our Saturday with, so keep that in mind if you have any early morning plans for your Saturday. Highs tomorrow in the low 60s. Sunday could get us even warmer, but Monday that chance of rain looks to return. The reason behind it is coming up in your full forecast.
All right, thank you, Cody. Well, in case you missed it, KREM 2 Sports Director Andrew Quinn threw out the opening day pitch. There it is for the Spokane Indians tonight. A big shout out to our entire KREM crew down at Avista Stadium this evening. And as you can see, Caitlin and Andrew had quite the opening day. Coming up, we bring you the highlights from the Indians' 2025 debut against the Everett Aqua Sox.
This is the Indians' home locker room, and just give you another point of reference too is that the width of this space is the width of the original building, so the original 1958 structure.
Well, right now we have an in-depth look at all of the changes at Avista Stadium. Check out Caitlin Galloway's walkthrough with the Indians president Chris Duff on our streaming app. You can download KREM 2 Plus on your TV and watch for free. But don't go to bed just yet. As major corporations pull Pride funding, learn how it's impacting Inland Northwest Pride festivals. But first, a Coeur d'Alene surgeon is spending the next 40 years behind bars for filming people in his office bathroom. The disturbing details next.